everybody, it is Wednesday, once again. This is your favorite comic monkeys, hater number one, otherwise known as Morgan, and me, Casey. I don't have a cool nickname, because...
He doesn't.
I don't have a cool nickname.
It's because it's not cool.
It's true. You know, it's very true. I mean, look at it. We're sitting here talking about, comic books, and we're spending our evenings in, a sweaty comic book shop, and he's stinky. I mean, it's tough.
I can't help it.
It's tough, and I gotta sit next to him while I have to do this. And we have to friggin', smell the monkey from across the way. And
that's the worst part.
It's really bad.
He's kind of just the worst.
It's true. Maybe he would shower someday, but, maybe if you come in this week, you buy some comics, he can afford some hot water, be going good. So, there's a bunch of stuff this week. Starting off, there's lots of femme fatales and cool, strange cosmic goddesses. We will start off with everybody's favorite kind of cosmic goddess, I guess. We're going to go with cosmic goddess.
Pretty much.
Angela, created by...
Wow. Todd McFarlane was a clever one, wasn't he?
He was. Well, hey man, overkill. That's all I need to say. But yes, Todd McFarlane, Neil Gaiman created Angela many, many moons ago. Recently, Joe Q and Marvel has kind of folded her into the universe.
Negotiated the rights there.
That's right. Came out towards the end of Age of Ultron. This is spinning out of that. This is written by Guardians of the Galaxy. This is number 5. Written by Bendis. Consulted by Neil Gaiman. And art.
Consulted. That's how they put his name on the cover?
His name isn't even on the cover.
What? It was in the ad for it.
Yet they didn't pay him enough money, I don't think, for the cover. I don't know. He's got a small little thing on the inside. But the art's by Sarah Pichelli. It looks very nice, much better than who was doing it before? I don't even know who was doing it before. Steve McNiven.
That Steve guy, yeah.
Yeah, it was not very good. But this is much better. Sarah Pichelli's kind of rocking that saga vibe. Looking for some kind of nice, Fiona Staples-y kind of cosmic-y art. But yeah, Angela.
She's in the Marvel Universe.
That's right.
Now. Also right now, new issue of FF. This is number 10 by Matt Fraction and the Allreds. And apparently the FF kids have started a band or something. Either that or they're gonna go around and have spooky adventures. Can't really tell.
Well, they have an awesome name. They're called the Spooky Kids, which is a great name for an emo goth band.
Yeah, or a gang of adventurers.
Or a gang of adventurers, but there's more money in music than there is the gang adventuring. True. And when your dad is the king of an entire, hidden human race, or inhuman race...
Do you need money then?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. What you need then is fame and fortune and human women.
True.
Young, teenage girls. That's what Black Ball... I mean, look at that. Look at how cool they look. Totally. I would listen to their music. What else we got? More femme fatale goodness. Because one book this week with Psylocke in it is not enough. We have Uncanny X-Force brought to you by Sam Humphries, Dalibor Talishik, and Adriano Fana, continuing the strange... It's not even a love triangle.
It's like a pentagram,
It's like a pentagram of strange clone loveness with Psylocke thrown in there.
It makes it really weird when you remember that Psylocke is actually a British lady in an Asian chick's body.
Right?
Yeah.
So, we're running some really, really weird stuff, and it's not to be surprised when you get the man who did the strange dog porn comic.
Yeah, or Love is Real?
Yeah, Love is Real. That is the same Sam Humphries. That was definitely interesting. It's not quite to that level here, but, it's a lot of Phantom X action. Phantom X smoking a pipe, hanging out with dead pirate things.
Okay.
Yeah, giant bears, psychic bears. But yeah, this book has been a lot of fun. The trade is out this week as well, with a beautiful Oliver Coipel cover.
First 6 issues of the series.
First 6 issues. We have 7, 8, and 9, which is the newest one. Really, really fun, dumb, violent, great X-Men book. It's
lots of bears.
Lots of bears.
More bears in that book than any other Marvel book.
This is very true. This is
They're
very
the new gorillas,
true.
I think.
They just need hooks now.
Alright, and over from DC this week we have Animal Man Annual number 2. This is part of DC's newest wave of annuals, I guess. You've also got Detective Comics and The Flash this week.
And Superman.
This is the return of Travel Foreman to Animal Man, which after a long and hard gap in a Rot World, he's finally back doing a issue about, I think it deals with the death of Buddy Baker's son and some Spider Queens, and it's the same sort of really, really spooky, totemic animal stuff that he was running in the first 6 issues that he drew.
Which was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his stuff is great. For all of those who come into the comic book store once a year, no, Berlin is not out. Optic Nerve is out. Adrian Tomine? I don't know. I never know exactly. But yes, Optic Nerve is out. Quiet, slice of life stuff. The first page is a very fun story about the perils of still trying to do kind of analog comics here, not willing to succumb to the digital. It's pretty funny. But yeah, Adrian Tomine, once a year, you can't really pass up Optic Nerve.
Also this week from Marvel, we have Captain Marvel, number 14. This is the conclusion of Kelly Sue DeConnick's The Enemy Within crossover. It was running between Captain Marvel and Avengers Assemble, part 5 of 5 here. It's basically just touching up on a lot of the classic Captain Marvel stories, like, or the Ms. Marvel, I guess, is what she went by back then.
Before.
But she's a captain now, which is what matters.
That's right. Art by Scott Hepburn.
Scott Hepburn is knocking it right out of the park on that book.
So, very cool. Last part. Finally collected. I know that there was many of you who didn't even read the last issue because, man, that was like, what, 4 months, 5 months? I forgot. You know, it was a long time. But this is The Infinite Vacation by Nick Spencer and Christian Ward. This is probably my favorite thing by Nick Spencer. And it's a story about a world where there's an app that is that's called The Infinite Vacation, where you can live other versions of your life to kind of see how it was, and if you like it, well, you can buy that other version of your life. And this is a sci-fi romance story that goes to many, many, many parallel strange dimensions. There's kind of a cool murder mystery thing. The main character, Mark, here finds out that his other selves are being killed across the multiverse.
One by one.
Yeah.
And then when you find out who's doing it, it's just like, ooh.
But Christian Ward, the art, the color on this, some serious, serious psychedelic weirdness here. Really pushing the panel borders, the layouts, the ideas of you know, what you can achieve in the comics there. Definitely riffing off the J.H. Williams, you know, we need to make this artsy as hell thing.
And another book from Marvel. This is part 2 of the double shot of Psylocke this week.
Psylocke!
X-Men number 3, Brian Wood, Oliver Coipel. Like, do I need to say anything more than that?
There was a train in the first issue. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, Jubilee has a baby. I mean,
she's not a vampire
you're already
anymore.
buying the comic.
I know, right?
It's already sold out like mad.
Yeah, like crazy. I mean, again, look at that cover. I mean, Psylocke is gonna stick you in the head with the, you know...
And the psychic knife, the focused totality of her psychic powers.
Too many Jim Lee X-Men
Chris
comics.
Claremont will point out every single issue.
That's right, because you forget those things. It's a necessary fact. Draftsman and illustrator superb, Mark Schultz, who is most famous for Xenozoic Tales, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. He created the comic that the TV show is based off of, which was a lot of fun. But this is his process stuff. He usually does kind of sketchbooks, and this is a collection called Carbon, which has got everything from finished pieces to some, you know, rough layouts to even bones that he had for this weird Triceratops thing that he then created an entire animal out of because, you know, he knows what it's supposed to look like because he's crazy like that.
Just
and
that
he studies a lot of
dinosaurs.
science. Yeah, because you should be that into dinosaurs. If you could draw like that, I'd be that into dinosaurs.
Right. And from Vertigo here, we have Collider number 1, new sci-fi series from Simon Oliver and Robbie Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Who hasn't done a ton of published stuff from American publishers, but he had a story in The Unexpected, another Vertigo
that was
anthology
pretty good. Yeah.
about some walking, talking, pretty evil dogs.
Those were mean dogs.
Filled in on Uncanny X-Force in one issue in the last volume, but this is like some dimension-bending, like sci-fi physics weirdness.
Yeah,
going
the basic
on here.
idea is that there's the Federal Bureau of Physics that's been assigned to stop and monitor any, you know, threats to the time stream and whatnot. And that means you put on these really trippy goggles, and you go into strange cyberspace, and you hop around, and, you know, you fix things behind the scenes, hopefully. But this is the beginning of
Or
Vertigo.
you mess it all up.
Or you mess it all
Which
up.
I'm sure is
You know what? That's
go down.
probably what's going to happen.
All the best stories start that way.
Yeah, but this is the continuation of Vertigo's new big push to defy. There's now defy, and then New 52. See, it just doesn't.
That's
you know,
not really
It's not
a-
popping enough.
No.
Not happening. What else we got? Ooh. One of my favorite creations from Alan Moore's ABC Comics back in the early 2000s, which was one of the greatest runs of comics made in the past many decades. Tom Strong, his version of Superman mixed with Doc Savage. Peter Hogan and Chris Sprouse coming back to do this. They did the last story, the Robots in Doom, I think. But this is picking up in the future somewhat. Tom's daughter is pregnant, and it opens up with, you know, him rushing her to this kind of strange aliens-looking operating room thing. People are looking very sad. And then there's giant crabs! Because you know what? You need giant crabs in a Tom Strong comic. Especially drawn by Chris Sprouse.
True.
So very clean, very awesome, very great. Just pure comic stuff. Great adventure. Great fun.
Alright. And lastly here we have got... Wow, how do I even say this? Comic-Con! Yeah! This is a creator-owned anthology from Image, hardcover collection, $12.99, like $13 for some of America's best writers working with a whole bunch of South Korean artists.
That are badass.
Yeah, the guy
cannot
that did
pronounce any of their names.
I can pronounce one of them, Rocky Kim, the guy that did those Ultron covers for Age of Ultron, where he's like morphing covers, gets like 8 arms and blows everything up. It's awesome.
No, this is, I mean, like, we were amazed this was $13. This is as thick as this other $18 Marvel trade. And yet, you know, you're getting like, I don't know, maybe 8 different stories in here. You're getting everything from kind of this nice scratchy horror to this really badass sci-fi to...
really phenomenal art. Some great black and white stuff in there.
You got Rick Veitch, Colleen Duran, who else? Ben McCool.
Oh, Joe Keating.
And Joe Keating, who do you work with?
I don't know, no question.
But yeah. It's very great, and it's great to see Image putting out, you know, a lot of work from unknown people, and hopefully they'll get some books soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see a Rocky Kim book.
Oh,
that'd be
so
shit.
badass.
And finishing up this week with cover of the week, as always, the amazing, the classy Paulo Rivera. This man is too good for comics at times.
So he just does covers.
So he just does covers. But, I mean, if you notice, this is a very, very beautiful EC homage, complete with Wally-Wood signature that he did in his own thing, which is great. And, you know...
Everyone's got their Wally-Wood spacesuits on, and Drax's spacesuit doesn't need a shirt. No. It's just that ripped.
That's right. Drax does not get cold. His anger keeps him warm. Absolutely. And, well, Rocket Raccoon, he's just, you know, he's gonna die soon. I mean, he's just his whole thing's busted.
He's a raccoon. Their lifespans are only so short, anyways.
That's true. That's true. So that is about it this week. You know, if you guys don't come down to the comic book store today, well, you know,
you'll end up like this guy.
Yeah, you
don't want to be like this guy.
You don't know what happened to the rest of his body, and we had to clean the blood off. He surprisingly comes off well. Clearly, Vader and the Empire knew that they'd have to be cleaning blood off of endless amounts of Stormtrooper, you know, costumes.
They would have made the uniforms white if it didn't wash off.
Exactly. Really easy. So, come in, get your comics, or you might see us later.